Chapter 1. A Friend in Need. Welcome.
A, come on!
They saw my intro chat and they wanted to skip it. Hi everyone, welcome to DieFall Presents Waterdeep Dragon Heist Episode 1. Welcome, it's an absolute shit show already. Hello everyone, we have Dungeon Dame, No Dice Mike, Bravo, and Stella Luna, all as our new cast, and I'm super stoked about getting started. We're gonna go up and around for introductions here. Dungeon Dame, who are you? And where do you come from? Where are you going?
I am Dungeon Dame, and I am from Twitch mostly. I paint miniatures, and I'm also on Twitter and Instagram under Dungeon Dame. Really easy.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Mike is across the screen from you, so we'll go to Mike next. How are you, Mike? And who are you? Let the people know.
I'm doing good. I'm No Dice Mike. I'm also from Twitch and Patreon, Twitter and Instagram, everything. No Dice Mike. You'll find me on all of it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. We'll come downwards from there. Stella, who are you?
Hi guys, I am Stella Luna on Twitch, and on Twitter I am Stella_Luna_TV.
Awesome, and thank you very much. And last, but certainly not least, Bravo, who are you?
I'm Bravo. I do nothing specific, but follow me on Twitter anyways. I do a
She
lot
says
of
as she streams stuff on her own channel and
That's
doesn't
true.
plug it.
Yes,
It's okay.
yes.
She streams too. They all do. All the links are dropped in the chat. If you want to go take a look at their specific Twitch channels, you can there, and we'll do a whole thing at the end where they get to do their little shout-outs and things like that. So generally, we've kind of already been warmed up because we've been talking for a while. But generally, at the beginning of the shows, kind of go around and see what everyone's been up to and what everyone's been streaming. So we can do a little bit of that here, starting with Dungeon Dame. I know you've been painting a certain chibi figure, but have you been doing other things beyond that? What's been going on?
Yeah, it's just mostly throwing paint on things. It's good times. I also lick brushes, which we were talking about earlier. It's good. Something I have been working on that I have to censor because it is not Twitch terms of services is this fairy lady here, the booby moth lady. As Mike likes
I've seen
to
it on
call her.
Twitter. Yeah, I've seen it on Twitter.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic there, by the way.
Censored boobs.
Yeah. Good, cool. Mike, what have you been up to, my friend? How have you been? You been streaming anything?
I've been doing a lot of cartooning stuff. Actually been playing in 3D a bit, trying to build props and sets for a comic that I'm working on that will hopefully go live later this month if I can get more stuff done on it in time.
Awesome. That's great, man. Wait, can you reveal the name of the thing yet, or is it still under hush wraps?
Right now the working title is Saffron, but that might change before it comes out.
Cool. Well, I'll poke you about it again next week, and we'll see if it's come along and if anything's changed. Stella, how have you been? I know you've been streaming some art and things. I saw a dancing bunny-eared cactus.
Yes.
What else has been going on? How have you been?
I am wonderful, thanks for asking. I have been getting into some D&D games offline and streaming. We are doing some Pokemon D&D, some Ravnica D&D, and mostly just hanging out and just having a good time together.
Awesome. And Bravo, I know you're putting stuff on now.
I'm fine.
But,
I just wanted to put cool earrings
Oh, is that
on.
the like jawbone earrings?
Yeah,
What were those again?
It's very like my character. They are mink jawbone earrings. I got them in LA.
They're ridiculous.
Anyways. I've been streaming Wizard 101 every Wednesday, and that's just been stupid fun. Except for when they make me pay for things on stream. But yeah, I do some drawing stuff. I've been trying to bring back that cool dragon that we were drawing, but I haven't been able to find a day for it, so maybe next week.
You should do that.
Maybe.
You should do that.
Maybe I will.
Cool. Well, I think without further ado, since we've been chatting a lot, you guys want to play some Dungeons and Dragons?
Yes.
I guess.
You guess?
No?
Okay, great.
Okay.
I'm super glad I picked out a great cast that really wants to play Dungeons and Dragons. Everyone, wowee! Oh,
Guess if
okay.
we're
So
here, we may as well.
holy moly. So for those of you guys that may not have been paying attention, which you should have been, we're playing Waterdeep Dragon Heist, which is a module, and I've never done a module before, so we're gonna dip our toes into that, and we'll get started here. So we get our overview of Waterdeep. It's a port city located along the western coast of Faerun, known as the City of Splendors. It's one of the largest and busiest cities and one of the most important political powers on the continent. Population is primarily human, though other races do dwell there. Waterdeep is named for its outstanding natural deepwater harbor, which has made the city a commercial crossroads. The population of the city is roughly 130,000, with more than 1 million Waterdavians making their homes within the actual territorial area. The city sprawls northwards from the sea, spreading along the flanks of Mount Waterdeep, which is just a solitary mountain. In Waterdeep, it's spring. And early spring tends to be cold and damp. Misty rains fall for days on end, and it's common for fog to settle in at night and last through the day. Now, we find ourselves at a place called the Yawning Portal. It's a famous inn and tavern located in the Castle Ward of Waterdeep. It's a stone building, slate roof, several chimneys. Most of the ground floor is taken up by the tavern's common room, which contains a 40-foot diameter open well. It's actually the outer shell of a sunken stone tower, and it descends 140 feet to the first level of the Undermountain, a sprawling dungeon under Waterdeep. A rope and pulley mechanism is used to lower adventurers into the well and hoist them out. The tavern's busy, raucous. Adventurers of all shapes and sizes are here enjoying a drink and some much-needed downtime. And I think this is where we find our new cast and our new characters. So let's start. Dungeon Dame, who are you playing, and what are they doing here in the Yawning Portal?
Hello, Minerva is the name. I am an half-elf warlock, and I am in Waterdeep to travel the world. Particularly tonight, I am here to drink and just enjoy the scenery at the Yawning Portal.
Excellent. And so what is your character currently doing, and what do they look like? Do they have any defining features?
So Minerva has very short black hair, kind of like pixie cut. She's got her pointy ears showing. She's got some jewelry decorating them. One long earring that hangs down with a black purple gem at the end. She wears a big scarf that's got quite the hood that she can pull up and over. Other than that, her garb kind of looks semi-piratey.
Okay.
Like the tall boots, the kind of froofy button-up shirt. It's good. At the Yawning Portal right now, she's probably just having a drink at the at one of the local tables. She might be, if she's there, she might be hanging out with her face. I can't remember her name right
what's
now.
her face? Wow.
Yeah,
what's her
Yagra.
face? Awesome. Okay. Thank you. And for this screen here, Mike, who do we see next as the camera pans in over the rest of the adventurers hanging out at the Yawning Portal? Where do we find Varus?
Varus, the half-elf ranger, is currently hiding underneath a table with a plate full of scraps that he stole off of other people's plates. He likes to eat kind of in dark areas with his back against the wall because no one else can come up behind him and take his food. So he's grown up on the streets most of his life, and this is the only way he knows how to live. So he's currently hiding in the dark, just devouring, just half-eaten whatever that he found around the bar.
Ooh. And what is Varus's class, and what does he look like?
Yes, Varus is a half-elf ranger, and he's wearing leather armor that's maybe a bit too big for him. He bought it with some money that he came by through not legal means. He doesn't really know what he's doing. Underneath that's just a bunch of green tattered rags, and he has dark hair, but it's clearly dyed Like he's got mess around the hairline because he needed to hide his identity from people who were looking for him.
Okay. So we have a nice zoom in of Varys underneath a table, stuffing scraps into his mouth and maybe looking around furtively. And then we pull back out and again see where like there's some musicians playing and things like that. And we come over to Bravo's character. Bravo, who is your character and what are they doing?
Cry she's a shadow magic sorcerer and it shows for sure. She's got really gaunt features. She's awfully pale with kind of, you can tell it's been not purposefully bleached, but bleached through, kind of living in the undergrowth, as well as her kind of magic has bleached her really long, unkempt hair. She wears really simple, handmade, woven, like just a top with a long skirt that kind of parts so her legs can move a little freely. She's got big blue eyes, and that's kind of what pops out because she is just looking around at everything. She doesn't eat too much, so she's just kind of looking at everything that's happening. She's got black soot that she's put down her neck right here, and as well as up her forearms as well. So she's not eating; she's just attention,
hanging out. Okay, yeah, she's like sitting at a table or up against the bar.
Yeah, at the table probably.
Okay. And last but not least, we see Stella's character. Stella, who are you playing and what are they doing here at the Yawning Portal?
I am playing Malia Chilwell, who is probably one of the familiar faces that you'll see here at the Yawning Portal. Malia loves to mingle with the crowds, so she is probably right now moving from table to table. Oh, yes, there you are, Edward. How is your day? And he's like, very, very well. Oh, Cynthia. Oh, darling, you look wonderful. And she is more or less just moving through the crowd. She is a human, and we'll call her a security specialist, not a rogue. Not a rogue.
Okay.
And she is actually pretty well dressed. She likes to keep herself clean. She wears an assortment of leather armor. She'll have like a pauldron kind of like tied to her, and she has most noticeably a big floofy hat with a long feather through it. Her hat is a nice, pretty shade of hunter green.
Ooh.
And she has a half cloak, and it's kind of like this wine burgundy color, just on the other side of her body, just half draped over her, and it has like kind of silvery, white, floofy fur trimmings on it. And she definitely moves with some bravado and confidence, as if she owns the place, but she definitely does not, by any means.
I like it. Very nice. And so as we pan away from the social butterfly that is Malia making her rounds at the Yawning Portal, seemingly accustomed to many of the people here, the sounds of gamblers and the yelling of drunken adventurers singing bawdy songs almost drown out the off-key strumming of a young bard 3 tables over. But all noise is eclipsed by a shout. "Yo, pig, you like killing me mates, doos ya?" And a 7-foot-tall half-orc is hit by a wild, swinging punch from a male human whose head is shaved and covered with eye-shaped tattoos. 4 other humans stand behind him, ready to jump into the fray. The half-orc cracks her knuckles, roars, and leaps at the tattooed figure. But before you can see whose blood is drawn, a crowd of spectators clusters around the brawl. What do you do? And I think, Mina, you know this half-orc to be Yagra Stonefist, and it seems that she might be in possibly a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Well, I would like to go up and see if I can help Yagra with her issues.
Okay, yeah, so you would like to get involved.
Yes.
Varys, Cry, Malia, would you like to get involved as well, or does one of you kind of like stay off to the side?
Varys is gonna peek out from under the table to see what's going on, but he's still just got like a mouthful of food, and he's still like he's eating popcorn to see what's going on now. He just wants to watch the show.
Awesome, I love it. Okay, Malia, what are you up to? You see this as you're like, you have like your arm on someone and you've been talking to them leaning over a table, and all of a sudden the sound over by the bar is happening and you hear like the cracks of fist against bone.
Malia goes, "Oh, who are we putting our money on this time?"
I love it. I love it. Cry, you've been kind of posted up, so you see this happen, and it's kind of close to you, but you're getting like a little bit shoved out of the way of all of these people like surrounding it. You know, like the fight circle that's happening right next to you. So anything that you'd like to do?
Yeah, Cry for sure is gonna get up and kind of take a few steps back and look around for Malia for sure. She needs her person.
Sure.
He needs her person. She's like,
Okay.
I don't know how to handle this.
What do I do?
Yeah.
Okay, well, it looks like Mina here, Minerva, is going to try and get involved in the fray here. So what we're gonna do, and for those of you guys, I don't think you guys have done a battle on Roll20 yet. We're gonna move over to a particular screen here. And chat, I'll get this up for you guys to see. This is just a basic random battle map. So for us here, let me go ahead and move you guys where you would be hanging out. So we have, you're probably over here by a table or something. You were leaned up against the bar, which is over here, and we'll imagine that there's some spectators around you at this point. Varys is under a table back here somewhere. And Malia, you're making your way over to this and trying to push your way through. So what I want you to do, Malia, and actually you guys, just in case, Minerva, sorry. Two M names here. I'm gonna have to get used to that. Click on your token and have your character sheets open here. And what I want you to do is roll for initiative. So this will be our first initiative roll, everyone. So, you know, hopefully it goes well for everyone involved here. And I'm gonna roll initiative for all of these people surrounding Yagra, and then I'm gonna roll Yagra's initiative as well. So, as you guys make your way over there, as Minerva makes her way over there, you see Yagra on top of this bandit with these tattooed eyes all over him, beating the snot out of him. He seems like he's almost been taken completely out, but it seems like his friends are starting to gang up on Yagra. She seems single-focused, but she's like taking kicks to the ribs and things like that, and it's getting to be a little bit interesting. Oh, I didn't open the... Okay, good. It automatically tracked it. Descending order. Hang on, chat. I can show you the turn order here.
How do I get
That'll be useful.
How do I get it to just roll initiative like that in the chat?
So what you do on your character sheet, you select your token, and then on your character sheet, you click the word initiative.
Ah, there we go. Okay.
And there you go. Yeah, there it pops. Which you're under a table eating some things, so you know maybe you didn't roll the best of initiatives, but hey, you know there you are. You're still better than one of these bandits. Okay, and so let me make sure I get Yagra here. There she is. And get her roll here, and then we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, okay, so she's down at the bottom there too. Feels good. So first up, we have...
I don't think mine selected my token. That's
Yeah, I don't think mine did either.
Oh, okay, so when you select, you have to select the token before you roll.
Okay.
But you already have one, so I can add it. Additionally, for clarity in the chat, if you guys click where it says "as something" down at the bottom on the chat there, and select your character name rather than your player name. And there you go. Okay. So I can add yours real quickly here. So hang on a second. So we had, you needed yours added. Hang on. Add turn. You had an initiative of, it looks like 23. Pretty good. Pretty good. And then Mina, what was yours?
12.
12? Okay.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent. And let me go ahead and add that to the turn order here. Add turn. 12. And I believe that catches everyone. Excellent. So yeah, the top of the turn order, Cry, you're making moves faster than anyone else here, but is there anything that you'd like to do, or are you kind of just like, you're pushed up against the bar here, a bunch of these patrons in the way of you, Anything you want to do here? You want to kind of like stay to the side and take a look at what's going on.
Yeah, she's definitely not one to make the first move when it comes to this kind of situation. She doesn't want to be paid attention to. So I think she for sure is gonna kind of clear out of that area. Just maybe take 3 steps back so she's not being shoved, but at the same time, she's still looking around for...
Well, so to your back currently is the bar. You see the barkeep behind you there, Durnan. He seems to be like cleaning a mug and watching what's happening. He hasn't made any action or move yet, but he does seem to be looking at what's going on.
I might just slide to the left then, kind of. You know what I mean? Because Cry does not want to get into it. This is more people than she's seen in like months.
Yeah, it's weird that you're even hanging out in the yawning portal. You kind of like you're here because some other people you were with wanted to be here, and now you're a little bit overwhelmed. Exactly.
Molly probably drug you out.
Yeah, exactly. One of your friends drags you out to the bar, and you actually really don't want to be there, but you're gonna quietly sip your beverage and try to enjoy yourself, I guess. Okay, yeah, sure. So, Cry, that's you. The bandits here are gonna begin like laying. This is so underneath Yagra. Fighting up from his back is the bald guy with a bunch of eyeballs. He's gonna attempt to hit Yagra, just try to punch her. Definitely lands a hit here. So he does 1 damage to her, because that's how punching works. So Yagra takes a clock to the face here. She doesn't seem super phased by it, and she seems to be enraged and is trying to beat this guy to a pulp. The bandits that are surrounding here are each gonna like move in and attempt to kick at her or punch at her. This one is unable to, or doesn't seem to like make any dent against her leather armor. She seems to just eat the blow and not really care. Malia, it is now your turn. Is there anything particular you'd like to do here?
Come, Cynthia, we must get a closer look.
Okay.
She's going to try to make her way through the crowd, unhurried.
Sure, yeah, you just kind of like, you do that thing, you're like, pardon me, excuse me, and you like grab shoulders, touch shoulders.
Excuse me.
Oh, hi, Kevin. Oh, pleasure to see you again. And then just kind of continue moving. Yeah. Okay. I love it. Yeah, so go ahead and you can move in your 30 feet and you just kind of like brush through the gathering crowd here.
And I'm dragging Cynthia with me.
Yeah. Yeah. So your little cat's name is Cynthia?
Oh, no, this is some random lady.
Oh, this is a random lady. Oh.
I don't know where my cat is. My cat has its own adventures right now.
It's elsewhere? Gotcha.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so this random lady, Cynthia, is now with you and is looking at you kind of nervously and is like, Malia, I'm not so sure about this. I should probably go with my husband Durand over there. He seems to be leaving right now. I really don't think we should be closer to this. And she's like this and like looking and like, you see her like staring down at her husband, just like, help. Get me out of this. Okay.
I'll see you later, Edward.
Yeah, and Edward's just like, he's just like, I don't know. And you see like Edward's wearing kind of like this foppish hat with a long feather, obviously thinking himself more important than he possibly is. He's wearing definitely like the like Robin Hood Men in tights, but they're like maroon. And he's definitely not wearing a codpiece, and it's getting really awkward for everyone involved. So Molly, is there anything else that you would like to do?
No. I am currently spectating.
Excellent. The next bandit like moves in on Yagra here, and is gonna try to pull her off of his bandit friend. Makes a strength check here, unable to. Yagra shrugs him off and is gonna just try to lay into this guy again. Malia.
Mina. You'll get it.
Why is your name Malia in the turn order?
I do not know.
Hang on. I'll fix that, but yeah, you can just tell me what you're doing.
All right, well, Nina's gonna say, well, this oddly looks like a fair fight. And she is going to cast Eldritch Blast at the guy that's essentially flanking Yagra there in the corner.
All right. I messed it up because I picked the wrong token that is represented by you.
Oh my god.
I know, right? Okay, so you wanna cast a spell against one of these guys here. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's see. let me get your, this is HP for you. So that actually doesn't change, but that is AC for you, which is definitely going to change. There we go. Your token is fixed now. My mistake.
Hooray!
Okay. So yeah. So if you want to ping the guy that you're going to hit, if you click and hold on the particular bandit that you have an interest in, it'll ping it for us and we can see which one you're targeting.
That's fun.
Okay, yeah. So the one closest to you here, you want to hit him with an Eldritch Blast. Yeah, so go ahead and roll Eldritch Blast for me in the chat. You should just be able to click the button and it'll, there it goes. You roll a 12. Yeah, it's just enough to hit this guy. What does your Eldritch Blast look like?
Oh, so it's like, it's dark and sparkly and purple, and it kind of looks like, think like galaxy colors when it sparks and hits.
Oh, sure, yeah. So we get like this moment where like this beam extends outwards, and it doesn't look like the galaxy in it is moving. It looks stationary, but it looks like you like ripped open a portion of the world, and like there's just stars in it now. And it nails this guy. So go ahead and roll Eldritch Blast, hitting him right in the back. You deal him 9 damage. Holy frick. Yeah, he notices you
Really?
immediately as he goes sprawling forward onto the ground on his hands and knees, and he gets up and turns around and goes, "What in the... Lads, we've got another one!" And so he has taken notice of you now. Is there anything else, Minerva, that you would like to do?
I am actually just gonna like back up a little bit so I'm not quite so close.
Yeah, sure. And you're like, you see this guy turn around and notice you, and he's got like a knife out now, and you're like, okay, hang on. Yeah, so go ahead and move your token back a little bit if you'd like. Each square is 5 feet, so you can move upwards of 30 here.
I'm probably gonna move to about there.
Excellent.
Like,
looks
away.
good. Yeah, so like you like retreat behind some of the other patrons and you're just like, ha ha ha, yeah, that's weird. And you're behind a table now and like, I don't know where that came from. Excellent. That one seems to have noticed you though. This bandit here does look up and sees, but he seems to like have not picked up where you're at. They don't really have great passive perception. Doesn't notice that you've like disappeared into the crowd, and it's gonna go ahead and kick Yagra in the ribs here. So let's see if he does anything. No. Oh, actually, it just hits. So Yagra takes another point of rib cave-in damage from these bandits that are now ganging up on her. Yeah. Okay. Mike. Oh, that's your character doesn't have his name in his character sheet yet.
It does on mine. On my end. Well, it says No Dice Mike in the turn order, but it says Varys in the character sheet.
Oh, that's weird. Here, I'll take a look at that. But yeah, tell me what you want to do.
All right. I think he is going to kind of scurry, if I can move him.
Yeah, so if you just click and drag, you should be able to drag him.
To right by Malia.
Okay, yeah, so you make a nice sprinting motion here out from underneath the table.
Yeah, he's going
30-ish feet, that's fine.
He's gonna just like sneak across the floor through the crowd of people, get right up next to Malia, hand her a gold coin, and say, "I got this on our team."
Are we fighting?
And then he's
Okay.
and then I think he wants to take a shot at the guy who just pegged Minerva there.
Well, so oh, the one that like turned around and has mentioned something, because he hasn't said anything, hasn't done anything.
Okay.
Well, he hasn't done anything, but he did turn around and like try to draw attention to the fact that someone had literally shot him with magic in a bar. So you know.
Now Varys knows whose side we're on.
Okay, sure.
Because he just saw his friend get into it with this guy. So
excellent, yeah.
Instead of what I said where he attacked, I'm gonna attack that same dude just because that's who I saw my friend attack. So it's like clearly those are the bad guys.
Awesome, I love it. So yeah, go ahead and roll your attack there. I'm assuming you're using your bow?
Yes.
Yeah, so you unshoulder your bow and you go ahead and you let off an arrow at this guy who just got blasted with magic energy. And yeah, it takes him directly into the chest. How much damage are we gonna do here? Click longbow in the chat.
I think I think I clicked the damage first. So
No, you're fine. So that's the so if you hover over it, it'll show you what it's rolling. So that's the attack. To do damage, you click the name longbow in the chat itself. Okay. So when I say, "Yep, that 13 hit," so this one it'll
yeah. There you go.
So there you go. So it does 7 damage. And again, if you go underneath the chat and change from your name to Varys, so we can get at least that in there. And so we get it all cleaned up. Cool. Yeah, so you deal 7 damage. Yeah, you take him in the throat. He's absolutely dead. There is now bloodshed in Durnan's bar here, and we get the pan across of like, basically you see the camera and it sees the arrow go into this guy's throat, blood spurts out, everyone's, and he falls over to the ground, and as he falls, the camera refocuses on Durnan in the back, like, with his mug, and he just goes, damned adventurers always making my day hard. And you see him like put down the glass, and he reaches under the counter for something. But after that, it's the dead bandit's turn. So that bandit's gone. So it's Yagura Stonesfist's turn, and she is going to try to kill this bandit. I guess this guy, this bald guy with all of these eyes on him. She's gonna see if she hits him. She does. He does not have a whole lot of health left, and she like cold cocks him, and he is out on the ground, seemingly unconscious. You're not sure if he's still alive, but he's currently out of the fight. Yeah. Okay, so that's her turn, and she looks around, and she like, as he hits unconscious on the floor, she like drops his body and gets up and turns around and starts staring down and is like roaring at them. And the other ones look a little bit nervous. They find themselves a little bit outnumbered here now. Cry, it is your turn.
Okay. Due to my alert and the fact that I'm just a crackhead, I'd probably hear the bartender say that, correct? Start like being like, I gotta do something.
Yeah, you hear him. And you know Durnan, he's, from what you know of being in the Yawning Portal at any time, because this happens to be like one of Malia's favorite places to go, you know Durnan's kind of a no-nonsense guy, but he's okay with having a brawl or two, right? It's an adventurer's pub. Right. I mean, what are you gonna do about that? But you do hear him, and you see him reaching underneath the counter there.
Ooh. Okay. I'm sure, would she be able to spot Malia by now? I know they're really far across from each other, but...
No, I mean, like, you kind of knew where she was, and she's, like, flamboyantly dressed, right? Like, You're gonna be able to see her from across the room, especially as now most of the patrons have, like, they're backing up. They're seeing lethal force being used here, and they're getting really nervous about this. This started as a bar brawl, and now someone's dead and bleeding out on the ground. So yeah, Cry, whatever you'd like to do.
I think Cry would most definitely want to go over to her in this situation, because now it's getting really dangerous.
Sure, so this is a good time for us to learn about how we measure things. So on the left-hand side of roll 20, there's a circle and it looks like a comb in it. That's a ruler. So what you can do with that is you can click on that and then measure out how far distances are between you and various locations. Obviously, this map's a little bit open. We will have ones that have different obstacles in the way or walls or whatever, so it'll be a little bit more picky about how you move around. But as of right now, you've got a little bit here, and you have 30 feet of standard movement, but you can obviously use an action to make the move.
Okay.
After you're done measuring, go ahead and click back on the arrow, and you'll actually be able to measure, or actually be able to move.
Was this 30?
Yeah, it was close enough.
All right, yeah.
There you go. So you're moving over to her.
Sorry, guys. She's most definitely close enough to kind of, Cry's gonna look at Malia and motion over and be like, are we doing this? Or are we staying out? Like, she's giving her the, like, I don't know what to do right now. I feel really uncomfortable. Malia, what do I do? What do I do? Look.
Yeah, she comes over and she looks at you with those big, almost undead eyes, and she seems like she's wondering, Malia, and she needs some direction.
There you are. It appears that this woman is outnumbered. Perhaps we should make it a bit more fun.
After Malia says this, we get a nice zoom in on the bandit on the ground with his jugular busted open and bleeding out.
All right, that's a yes for Cry then. And so, can I use an action now?
Yes, you can.
Boy, howdy.
More than welcome to.
Cry gets the okay. She hits hard. Hopefully. So,
oh God.
Cry most definitely Okay, I'm remembering how to use spells. I'm getting there.
So on your spell sheet, you just click which one you want to use.
I'll use a nice little simple one. I most definitely want to use Firebolt for sure.
Sure, yeah.
Oh, I did it twice on accident.
It's okay. So the 16, which is the first one, is definitely going to hit. What does your firebolt look like? How do you conjure this?
I always imagined it with the soot. It kind of, from like sky high, how it kind of traces up the hand. It ignites up her forearm at first, and then from there it like sloughs off and shoots off of her whole forearm.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, so like your arm, we watch as Cry extends a hand and it goes black all the way up to her elbow and then just and shoots off in a firebolt. Which one are you hitting? Can you like click and hold for a ping for me?
That one.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it definitely hits. So to roll damage, to click firebolt in the chat and it will go ahead and pop that bad boy up for you.
Bloop.
Yeah, 10 damage. Yeah, okay. He's super duper hurt. He's singeing and likely on fire, hit in the back again. He's turned around and he notices, and he's like hitting one of his bandit friends in the back. He's like, there they are, they're behind us. Oh no. And he seems right terrified now that Jagger is standing in front of him. Two of his friends are down and he's ignited. That's your turn, I assume?
Yes, sir.
Oh, good. The next bandit, yep, he's down on the ground, so that's not his turn. This one, yeah, I think they've learned their lesson. This one is going to attempt to scoot by Jagger here, and is making all of these apologetic noises like, sorry, Miss Jagger, he didn't know right what he was doing. We don't mean any of this. And he's gonna like try to start dragging his bandit friend away. As he moves past Jagger like, gives him like the arms down like buck at him, and he's like, oh yes, of course, Miss Jagger, and he's like trying to patch up one of his buddy here. Malia, it is your turn.
Malia is mostly watching Cry as this firebolt gets shot off, and she lets go of poor Sylvia and in a very fluid movement just draws her sword. She has a rapier, and it's like a very dramatic flourish. Her cloak is kind of flowing back.
Sure.
At the same time, she's kind of moving across the floor, and she's going to more or less position herself in front of Cry, kind of like in a protective sort of way.
Sure, yeah. So like we get this like where Jagger like bucks at him, and then we get to pan over, and everything slows down, right? Like you see Malia's like feather flutter a little bit as like the patrons kind of run past her backwards, as she draws, and we get the shing, and it shines in the whatever candlelight, and she does a little flourish with it, and the cape kind of goes off one shoulder, and she approaches. Absolutely, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so you're standing there protectively. This other bandit here, he's like, oh, please don't hurt us. And he's gonna move this way, and he's like patting out the singeing on himself, and he's attempting to stop the bleeding from his friend's neck, that's in the ground. At this point in time, you all hear a sound. Shouts of alarm suddenly ring out as a hulking creature climbs out of the shaft in the middle of the tap room. A monster with warty green skin and a tangled nest of wiry black hair, a long carrot-shaped nose and bloodshot eyes. As it bares its yellow teeth and howls, you can see that half a dozen bat-like creatures are attached to its body, with 3 more circling above it like flies. Everyone in the tavern reacts in fear, except for the barkeep, Dernan, who shouts, "Troll!" So, in one moment here.
Oh, just your daily troll.
Yeah,
it's an adventure. Roll for troll.
Down there in the basement, that's trolls. You're gonna have the problems with them. You're gonna have to get them removed.
So a troll climbs out here and makes itself known. It roars out, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll all of their initiatives here. As Minerva, you'll basically get your turn actively as this troll and accomplices, accoutrement, show up from out the hole in the middle of the room. Someone should be paying more careful attention to this hole, I think. All right, so that's that guy, and then we have a bunch of these little weird creatures. They look like fleshy mosquitoes, larger in size normally. But I think if I actually, can I do Control Z and that shows, or Alt Z, and I think that shows everyone. Wait, Control Z? No, I want to show everyone. Oh well, I'll figure it out. Dudes, and if you remember the command to show everyone the token zoomed in, that'd be nice. So yeah, so there's a bunch of these guys just kind of floating around. Some of them seem to have been attached to them. A couple of them look really bloated, like you would see like a mosquito that's been on your arm for too long, and you can kind of see like this reddish or this like greenish coloration from the troll blood inside of it. Yeah, so this right now you basically get to act Minerva like right before they come into the fray here.
Okay, well, she is going to shoot down the flying dude that's right across from her. This one. There we go.
Yeah.
And she's gonna go, ugh, these are almost as bad as birds. She's gonna shoot him.
Oh yeah, a 22 absolutely hits. Yeah, so you let off another one of these starry eldritch blasts. Minimum roll on the damage, but it like blasts this thing, and it kind of like it just explodes in a gout of this like blood, and it like splatters the troll with its own blood, and it gets really weird about it. Yeah, you see it like stop flapping and like falls back into the portal behind it, dead. Okay, cool. So that's Minerva. Is there anything you want to like move, or if there's a bonus action? I don't think you have any right now, but I thought I'd ask.
Yeah, I don't think I've got a bonus action, but I am probably gonna move just over a little bit, kind of closer to the group.
Sure. Yeah. And let me get Dern in here. He's reached underneath the counter, and he's pulled out a giant sword. And he's like, "No trolls in my house," and he like hops over the bar here, and he starts making his way towards the battle. Okay, so at this point, this basically will just go from the top of the initiative again. So Cry, it is your go. You're up at the top here. What would you like to do?
Ooh. So seeing that the fight over on her other side with the silly boys are done, but this troll has suddenly come up with these nasty boys. She's most definitely going to fire something at them. I think I need to move a little closer though. It's the grossest looking boy I ever did see.
Yeah, they're kind of grody. It's okay. They're kind of gross.
Gross. Yeah.
Just kinda.
Just kind of gross.
Just gonna move around her. Be like, all right, I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, get them. Yeah, they're kind of flying around. They just have like just hopped out of the portal here.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna get him with poison spray.
Okay, yeah. Put poison spray in the chat there, and let me. What does it do? Show me a thing. DC 13 con save, 10-foot cone, I guess, right?
I need to get.
If you want it to be more effective, you're gonna have to get a little bit closer.
I'm closer.
The cone itself extends outwards from you, so the square after you, but it's a 10-foot cone. So you're gonna hit, unless you're much closer, you're just gonna hit this one sturge in front of you.
Yeah, I think I can't move any farther. Ish.
Okay.
Maybe, yeah. So they're fine. One's fine.
Okay. So this sturge here has to make a con save, which he does. So I don't know. Is it half damage for?
I'm pretty sure it's half damage for shock or poison spray. Let me see.
Yeah, it should be in the description.
Oh, it doesn't say half damage at all. Oh, yes, it does. I'm sorry. It does say half damage.
Okay, yeah. So even though like it makes a save, you still watch as like the poison like enters its like weird little mouth nose sucker thing, and it like, and you watch as it like curdles all of the blood inside of it, and it just like boom, flops and like kind of like lays limply and like round with blood that's poisoned now on the floor. It is dead.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
it's really gross.
Yeah, she did her part. She feels good.
She did it. Yeah, is there anything else you'd like to do? That was movement and action?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, we're good.
So yeah, that's good. Okay. This next Sturge here, seemingly bloated with blood. It kind of just flaps its happy little butt down the yawning portal again and disappears. So that one's gone. The next one here, it like reattaches itself to the troll here, I think, and attempts to suck some blood. It uses blood drain. It does not seem to be able to pierce the natural hide of the troll. I think the troll sees it and like sloughs it off, and it goes flying and like hits a wall off to the side or something like that, and just. So that's that one. That one is dead. And the last one here, also happy with its with all the blood that it's taken, floats off downwards. These two bandits here are more interested in saving their friends than joining the fight against this troll. And you see now, as you guys look around, that most of this place is cleared out. Like, it seems to be almost empty now, except for these bandits, Yagra, and Durnan quickly making his way over towards the troll here. Malia, it is your go. What would you like to do?
Oh, cry, don't get too close. So, establishing that we've been to the yawning portal before, is it normal for trolls to come out?
Well, so the portal itself kind of leads to an upper level of the Underdark and a dungeon on its own. So yes, these monsters are plentiful and occasionally do jump out here. And you see that Durnan's giant sword seems well loved and well used.
Gotcha. I will step up next to my companion.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will perhaps hold a reaction.
You can hold an action.
Yes.
What would you like to hold, and for what trigger?
I would like to strike the troll should it come close enough to attack.
Sure.
My
So if it
friend
comes in striking distance, you want to hit it back.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, cool. So yeah, you're holding your action for that. Mina, it is now your go. What would you like to do? You see this troll and these weird blood-filled creatures come out of the portal. Durnan is basically coming up and going to move past you. And you hear him at this time. He says, "Get rid of the Sturges and then the troll. We have to take it out with fire."
Okay. Well, then I'm how far? Last read. Pretty far, right? 120 feet.
Yeah, you can take your measuring tool and you can find out your distance.
Okay, yeah, I can definitely hit it from here. I am going to take this Sturge. I'm going to shoot him with another Eldritch Blast because.
Because heck those guys. Do it.
Let's get rid of them.
Yeah.
I doubt that hit. Does it hit?
No, that's a 7. That is not hit. You see, as like you basically rent open the world again, and you see all the starriness. The Sturge kind of like lightly flaps above it, and it goes flying underneath it and slams into the portal like brick stonework, and we see it goes behind it.
I'm gonna stay where I'm at though.
Okay. Excellent. And then. It's the other. Oh, that's a dead Sturge. Never mind. That one's done. It's Durnan's turn. Durnan! Woo! Yay! All right. Big boy has got a big blade. And he is going to make his way over here. He as quickly as he possibly can. And what he is going to do, I think he's going to. Oh my God, Durnan is ridiculous. I'm reading his character sheet again. Stupid. He's actually going to use his action to be sure that he is in front of his patrons. As a nice proprietor, he's going to stand in front here and challenge the troll head on. So that is Durnan's turn. The next Sturge here, the one that was just missed, is going to flap its happy little butt. It only I love this. Their fly speed is 10. So he's gonna flap his fat little butt right here, and just, and you see him like his belly full of this weird, gross blood, and just yeah, it's just disgusting.
Let's
but
adopt
then
one.
it's the troll's turn. The troll goes, and he takes a step forward here, and he like steps on this dead sturge and pops it open. So it just pops and just disappears. It's gone, obviously, underneath his foot. The blood like splatters outward. It gets on like Durnan's boots and on Malia's like nice coat, and it is now standing in front of you. I know, right? You see now that actually, can everyone make a nature check if you'd like for me, please? Let's see how much you guys know about trolls in general. 10 for Varys here. 10 for Malia, a crit for Mina. Okay. And Cry with a 6. So I think, Mina, you definitely know this. I think both Malia and Varys, you know trolls exist, but you maybe haven't necessarily seen one or know things about it. Cry, this is weird. What the heck is this giant green thing, and why is it in a bar? This is why you don't go to bars. This is ridiculous. I was just supposed to come here, hang out with Malia because she wanted me to get out of the house, and now you're here, and there's a giant green thing in front of you, and it's about to smack your friends. Mina, you know that trolls regenerate, and as you look, you see as some of like the open pockmarked sores from where maybe these sturges have been sucking the blood out start to close up, and it seems more hale and hardy than when it had initially come out. So the troll itself here roars outwards, and it's going to make 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws, and it's going to make the bite attack and 1 of the claw attacks here against Durnan. And it crit misses that one, and then it lashes out with a claw, and you watch as Durnan like gets his broadsword up and blocks the teeth from getting at him. Oh, nice. You see the claw like hits the front of his shirt, but it looks like his chainmail is too strong for this hit to get through. But you do see that like it knocks a little bit of the wind out of him, as strong as the troll is. The other claw comes swiping downward at Malia, and a 10. Does that hit you, Malia?
That does not hit.
Yeah, so you definitely step out of the way and flourish with your blade, and it has missed all of its attacks. So hey, that seems pretty good. Okay. The bandits are still they're figuring out what they need to be doing here. They're gonna try to take care of their friends. Yagra seems to be ignoring the bandits at this point now, and is definitely looking at the troll and is like readying a club, and looks to be like she's gonna come in and help. Varys, it is now your turn.
All right, Varys sees that his friends are gonna get attacked here. He's gonna kind of scooch to get a better line of sight on the troll, and then take a shot with his bow.
Nice.
Absolutely, yeah. Take that shot.
Get killed.
25. Woo-hoo! Absolute crit. Look at that. Crit with a 25. Yeah, so it'll auto-roll your crit for you when you click longbow here, and we'll see how much damage you're able to do. Excellent amounts of damage here. Wow-wee. That's 14 points of damage to the troll. So you see is like this arrow comes flying across and slams into the troll's chest. It goes, "Ugh, ugh," and it like its eyes dart over and it sees you with the bow out. Yeah, you did some solid damage there. Good job, buddy.
Bring it, suckbag.
Good shot, Varys.
Excellent. Yagra Stonefist. She like wipes some of the blood off of her face and goes, well, I guess I should help. And like starts moving forward here. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. She gets on this side and it looks like she's gonna try to target the sturge here first, to get this extra little blood bag out of the way. Where are you, Yagra? Here you are. She makes 2 attacks with her mace against this sturge here. The first one hits and kills it immediately, so it's dead now. It explodes open with the blood that it was able to get, and it is now dead and batted onto the floor. She hits it hard enough that it like hits the troll from the side of the troll. There's and looks at her now. She takes the last step forward here and hits out at the troll, dealing it 7 more damage. So yeah, you guys are starting to do a good number here on Troll Boy. So excellent, excellent. Cry, it is now your turn. You see now that your friends have come and stepped up in front of you, and you're well defended here. And basically everyone's just wailing on this monster. What would you like to do?
Cry would like to extend her hand, like literally like if Malia and whatever the heck his name was are like right here, she just wants to like put her hand right between them.
Yeah, sure. So you reach between Malia and Dernan, and they're focused in on this troll, and obviously Malia's like making all these fancy poses with her blade. Yeah, what do you do?
Firebolt for sure, since she heard him say that you need to hit
Right,
it with
burn it with
fire.
fire. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeet.
let's see. Yeah, oh, it definitely hits. So go ahead and roll damage with that. So yeah, we see the firebolt like slough off the arm, and Dernan looks at us and goes, "Ah! Yes, that's right. Fire! Fire is good here." And you hit it for 4 fire damage. You see that like it singes the front, and where the fire is hit, it looks like the damage there, it doesn't start regenerating in that location. So yeah, good hit, good hit. And you seem to have kept it at bay. That's that Sturge. That Sturge is, where are you? Hang on, Sturge. Oh yeah, this one here, it like, I think it's fat and happy. I think it just goes away too. They don't really care. They just wanted the blood from the troll, and now they're just gone. Yep, the bandits, I'm gonna go ahead and remove them from turn order. They're taking care of their friends here. That Sturge is dead. Okay, so Malia, it is your go. What would you like to do?
Oh dear. Dry cleaning is so expensive. How dare you? Stab.
Yeah, stab out at you. Hey-ya! You stab out at him. A 9. Yeah, unable to pierce the thick troll hide. But you watch as like your rapier goes forward and like and kind of like bends a little bit, but doesn't actually pierce the flesh. And you're like, okay, maybe I should hit harder next time. And you know, it like brushes away your blade and roars out. All right, Mina, your go.
All right, Mina's gonna move around a little bit, kind of Varys here, so she can get a better look at this hideous troll. We're gonna go there.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, you come over there and like you see it now and you're not like obscured by these things. It's huge. It's like 9 feet tall and it's gross and it's pouring weird green blood from different orifices. It's really awful and it smells terrible.
Ugh. All right, well, I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast again. Hopefully I don't miss this time. Huh?
15 is just enough to hit. Excellently done. Go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, the universe rents itself open again and you deal it 5 more damage and it takes the blast from the side. The troll here seems very confused on all sides and now surrounded, but is enraged by all of your presence in its new domain and continues to fight on. It's Dernan's go now. Dernan brandishing his blade. His blade Grimvolt. I didn't realize it had a name. He gets 4 melee weapon attacks. So he's just gonna go do the thing. And he attacks it once, twice, thrice, 4 times. He slices it to bits. You watch as one arm gets lopped off and is just like laying and dangling and kind of like twitching slightly. And you see as like the top half of it gets carved in half and like we get that like really anime thing where like it just stays still and then explodes outward in green blood and like slides offwards and onto the ground. And the last hit takes off the head right from where it is and it rolls onto the ground. But the troll seems to be still somewhat alive and he looks over to you and he goes, "Fire, now, douse it with oil and put the fire." He's already pulled out a flask and he's like dumping oil on the troll bits on the ground. You, and he points back to Cry, "Light this now."
Okay, so Cry, kind of jumps back, and instead of the regular fire, I think it's gonna be a really small, like she's gonna snap her fingers together and create like a spark over instead of like. Oh,
sure, yeah.
So she's gonna be like, ah!
Yeah, sure, and you do so, and it just goes up in flames, and there's just burning troll bits. It's kind of like hissing weirdly, right, with all like the blood and stuff, and it smells so awful. Burning troll flesh is super unpleasant. You see like the arm kind of like scoot itself across, but like the end of it is on fire and it kind of starts shriveling up. It's like really dry tinder going up in flames. Just smells way worse. But yeah, good job. You guys have slayed the troll.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Yay!
Yeah. Excellently done. Excellently done. Yeah, so I guess I'll turn off the battle music. I guess y'all are done there. Yeah, so well done. You've exterminated the troll. Durnan, he turns to you all and he goes, well fought. Well fought. You take orders well. And he you see him reach down and try and take the troll blood off of his blade. And he goes, troll blood, it's bad for blades, leaves pockmarks. And he puts it on his shoulder and walks back over to the bar and hops on over and puts the blade underneath and continues cleaning his little glass there. As you guys turn to see what happened to the bandits, they at some point in time during this fight have made themselves scarce and are out of the room now. That kind of concludes our battle for now. Go, you guys, you did the thing. Congratulations.
We lived!
You lived against a troll, which is that's no small matter there. Okay. So Durnan is turned behind, and is there anything else is there anything you want to say to each other?
Well, Varys is kind of upset that one of his arrows is now up in flames in the troll corpse, and the other one got taken away with the bandit corpse as they drug their friend away. Like, those things aren't cheap!
Oh.
We'll get you new arrows. Calm down.
But they was mine!
Does anyone know how to get troll blood out of my cloak?
Cry shakes her head. She doesn't know anything about dry cleaning.
Just cut it out?
Oh, heavens, no.
You see as you've said that and you're discussing this, you see a kind of a short-ish man. He has a large beard and a glorious mustache. Is wearing kind of a somewhat foppish hat, and he approaches you and he goes, actually, I've done research on trolls and troll blood, and you are all adventurers, it seems, and a little white vinegar, actually, and it takes it right out.
Excellent.
So for those of you guys that want to know what this guy looks like, I will show you him. This is Volo. Volo Thamagedorm. This is the famed Volo. He approaches you. And he says, "You're all adventurers, right? I could use your help. Let's find a table. Durnan, can I get 1, 2? You're all drinking, right? 5 ales, please. Thank you." And he approaches a now empty table that's just got a bunch of people's old food and drinks on it since they've kind of fled the scene, as it were. You do notice now that the patrons are coming back inside, and it seems that Durnan has some staff on hand that are dealing with the troll bodies and pushing it back into the abyss that is the open yawning portal. But yeah, do you follow Volo over to the table?
Yes, and then I grab one of the half-eaten plates and I hand it to Varys because I know he's gonna take it.
It's very sweet. It's
Varys
very,
has
very
already
sweet of
made
you.
himself comfortable under the table, and he just kind of reaches up above and grabs the plate.
Yeah, sure. Volo looks at this small half elf dart underneath the table and hands coming up and grabbing food from up high, and it's just interesting young one that one is. Well, thank you. I appreciate you coming over here so quickly. Well, my name is Volo Thamagedorm. I'm sure you've heard of me. Chronicler, wizard, celebrity, and at your service. I trust you've noticed some violence in our fair city these past 10 days. I haven't seen so much blood since my last visit to Baldur's Gate. But now I fear I have misplaced a friend amid this odious malevolence. My friend's name is Floon Blagma. You know, he's got more beauty than brains, and I worry he took a bad way home a couple nights ago and was kidnapped. Or worse. If you agree to track him down with all due haste, I can offer you 10 dragons apiece right now. And I can give you each 10 times that when you find Floon. May I prevail upon you in my hour of need?
Cry.
Sorry.
Cry. Cry leans into Malia and she whispers, "Is that a lot?"
Yes, my good friend. We definitely need these dragons.
Okay, then she just nods and sits back and is like, okay. Okay.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, a dragon in Waterdeep is just what they call their gold coins because on it is stamped a dragon. So it just has its colloquial name as a dragon.
I'm sure Cry found one when she was young, but probably did not use it monetarily. He has no idea what it's used for.
Sure.
Varys was initially really excited, thinking that we were all going to get like our own armada of dragons.
Oh, sure, yeah.
A little disappointed to find out it's only money.
Yeah. So he looks at you like pleadingly, and whoever would like to make if anyone has insight as a proficiency, you can go ahead and roll an insight check for me.
Oh, I think I do.
Yes.
No, I don't. Never mind. I lied.
I can try it. Oh, there we go.
Money. That is on my mind.
Yeah, I think Malia's like, oh my, 10 gold pieces just to go find a dude that they lost in a bar somewhere? Oh my god, I have easier jobs in my sleep. Yeah, she's super okay with this. Did anyone else have insight as a proficiency or no?
I did. I can roll one.
Yeah, roll one.
Okay. Yeet. Woo.
A 16. Cry, you get the feeling that Volo may not have as much money as he's saying. He might be stretching the truth a little bit.
That is so funny because she doesn't know anything about money. Okay, yeah.
What you notice is like a tightening of the eyes and the smile, the facade fades a little bit when he mentions that 10 times more upon delivery.
Cry, kind of for once squints her big old eyes and is like, She looks over at Malia and she's like, but doesn't know quite how to say it because this is way out of her comfort zone.
If she doesn't want to say anything about it, she doesn't have to. I'm just letting you know, this is what Cry notices, is that he seems to not be totally truthful here.
Okay, cool.
Cry, I understand that you may be apprehensive of the prospect of entering another tavern, but it will be worth it. I promise you that.
At the word "another tavern," she's like, "Oh my god!" She's like, "This is so exhausting. How do you people live like this?" She's just kind of like hangs her head down. She's like, "Oh god."
Okay. So do you guys accept? What do you say?
I think maybe Malia accepts on behalf of the group.
Yeah, Varys just kind of goes where everyone else goes, so
Sorry,
if they accept the job, he goes with them.
Varys, I should have specified, for an insight check for you, you're under a table, so, you don't even see these guys right now, you're just kind of eating under a table.
I just see their legs. I kind of overhear what they're saying over my chomping, but other than that, I'm just stuck under the table, waiting for one of them to say, okay, we're going, bud.
Absolutely. So Malia, you accept on behalf of the group here. Mina, do you say anything here? You're okay with it?
I'm okay with
just
it.
stand on the side.
Yeah,
okay.
Sounds good to me.
Volo, when you accept, his eyes light up and he goes, "Oh, good. Good. Floon, he's a handsome human male. I guess probably early 30s. Wavy, red, blonde hair, luscious locks. He dressed in a princely garb last I saw him. About 2 nights ago, before he disappeared, we were drinking at the Skewered Dragon, a bawdy tavern down in the Dark Ward. I recommend you start your search there."
As I am new around here, is there anything we should keep in mind when we're heading to the Dark Ward?
He looks, he kind of eyes wide a little. Yes, well, the Dark Ward here is, kind of a rough and tumble joint, but you all seem like you're able to handle yourself. And he, gestures over, and we get the camera pan over, and there's a guy with, a push broom, pushing an arm of the troll back into the pit.
And what were you doing in a rough and tumbled kind of area. You don't look like you could hold your own.
He looks at you. It's one of Floon's favorite places. Yes, and I hadn't seen my friend in quite some time.
Just kind of like side eyes and just continues eating whatever food was in front of the table.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like at this point in time, one of the serving ladies has made their way over. Her name is Bonnie. And she's come over and she's like dropped off some bread and cheats and like and meats and stuff like that. And she goes, "On the house, don't you worry." And she like leans under the table and she goes, "Varys, don't think I forgot about you." And she hands you a plate.
Thanks, Bonnie.
Yeah, so there's like some food on the table and she's like brought you all drinks and things like that. So Volo's kind of like sitting there like, right, so here is 10 gold pieces for each of you. And he like pulls out a bag and kind of like weighs it out and he's it's 1, 2, 3, 4 gold pieces. Oh my, need an advance on that next book. Haha, okay. And he tosses it over to Malia.
Yes. Excellent. And Malia would evenly distribute it to her companions.
Sure, like at the table. He's like watching you do this and like has his like hands
She's
together,
taking her time.
like nervously with the book, and he's like, "So, about all of that due haste, 10 times that amount when you return. Just remember that."
32.
Varys has no idea what's going on, but when he gets his share of this, he thinks that it's the return on the bet that he made earlier about the fight that was going on.
Oh, sure.
He just thinks he's won.
Yeah, so we get this thing, like we see Malia just like puts a hand on their table with the gold out. Varys like eagerly snatches it just like he would for any of the other food and just like stuffs it in his jerkin and then just continues eating.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that visual of just like Molly's just like, and down there and just like absolute like day in the life. Oh, that's great.
He has no idea what it's actually for. He just thinks he this is the return on his bet.
It's just in the coat now. Who cares? And he goes, right, so is that acceptable? Remember, skewer dragon, dark ward. Make your way that direction with all due haste. It's a little dangerous, and I'm very worried about my friend.
Where will we be able to find you once we find your friend?
I'll be here. Don't worry about that. Dernan and I go way, way back, and I'm looking to drum up a little business from my new book. Because you might have heard about me, Volo Gedam.
No.
Well,
That's
that's all right. You will certainly hear of me when I finish my new book, Volo's Guide to Spirits and Spectres. Yes.
No.
No? Well, you adventurers are not normally the reading type anyways, so that's fine. You're not my intended audience. Please do hurry up. I worry for my friend Floon.
Get out.
He really, well, he's beautiful, but somewhat dumb.
Cry looks over at Malia and gives like is this how everybody is? This is what civilization is like. She's just kind of like, what are we supposed to say here?
Malia is just very slowly, casually sipping her wine or whatever drink she got.
Okay, then Cry does that too, after seeing Malia doing that in this situation.
Right. Cry just gives like this really incredulous look over at Molly and then sees Molly just casually sipping at a glass and she's just like, oh, right, of course, drinking, civilization, drinking, right. Cry, you find that the glass itself is very, cold. The drink is cold because you're cold all the time. Everything's cold. It's always cold.
Chilled wine, anybody?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, so he's like sitting there with a table looking at you. Is there anything else I can do for you before you're on your way?
No, we'll get to it.
Oh.
Barris, do
Oh,
you need more scraps? How are you doing down there?
Yeah, he just like puts his hand up, like
Yeah.
signaling for more food, but doesn't say anything. Just like puts like like anything you want to give down here.
Yep. Don't know where my next meal is going to be, so please, right now, this is great.
I just slap a bread roll in his hand.
Excellent, excellent.
Yeah, it just slowly disappears back under the table.
After Malia finishes her drink, she dabs at her mouth, and then she just springs up. Her cape flies back. All right. Shall we go then, my companions? There is
Yes,
a
on your way.
princely dressed young man we must rescue.
Yes, Floon, Blagmar, don't forget. Skewer dragon, Darkward, all that. 10 times the amount when you return, 10 times. Just remember. Oh my.
Onward then.
All right, follow behind Malia. I have no idea where I'm going, so you guys leave.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. I love it. So you guys you go off into the city itself to find yourselves one Floon Blagmar. God, I love his name so much. And you head out into Waterdeep, Waterdeep proper here. I know we did this last time for you guys when you were doing character creation, but I'm going to go ahead and drag your character tokens on over to the map of Waterdeep here, so we get a chance to look at the scale here, and so chat can see the scale of things again with the city in general. So we'll zoom out here, and we'll take a look at Waterdeep. So you guys were somewhere in the North Ward currently, and then you're going to be making your way out, and if you choose to do so immediately, you'll go all the way down to the Dock Ward, down south, and see if you can't locate this particular bar that has been mentioned, or if you can find any particular things of note on the way over there. So this is the Dock Ward. So chat, you guys can see that here, and this is the city and map of Waterdeep. It's immense. Again, it is one of the largest cities, and it is on the coast here, known for its really deep dock water area, so large ships can get in and out very easily. Yeah. Okay. So, what would you guys like to do?
I'm most definitely falling behind Malia. I don't know where the heck I am.
Okay, sure. So you guys, you exit you exit the yawning portal up in the North Ward, and you see you seem to have been doing a little bit of midday drinking and carousing, as adventurers are wont to do, and so it's roughly midday, but it being spring here in Waterdeep, the air is heavy with mist. If you've ever been to London or Paris in springtime in like March, it's like mostly just wet. So it's very much like that right now. The cobblestone streets are slick and wet, and there seems to be people just going about their day here.
Malia probably has a way of walking where her boots definitely have heels on them, and she likes to emphasize the clicking of her boots.
Oh, absolutely.
She wants people to look at her.
Yeah.
She's a very noisy walker.
Look, they do. As you walk down the street, knowing where the Dockward is, you guys are residents of some of your residents of Waterdeep here, or have been for quite some time. You know that you just basically need to head south. You're gonna find yourself on I think Snail Road. Yep, Snail Street. Eventually, as you move south on the high road, and easily enough, they run right into each other, and you'll end up in the Dock Ward. But yes, as your boots clack happily on the cobblestones, it's a very nice sound for your ears.
Cry's right behind her, not wanting to be looked at in any way.
Yeah, so Cry, you kind of walk very kind of hunched over and face down and furtively looking at people.
Her head is just nearly on a swivel because she's trying to look at everything at once, trying to take it all in because it's a lot. But at the same time, she does not want people to look at her, so she's kind of conflicted having Malia in front of her and everyone looking at Malia, so she tries to fix the distance between them.
Absolutely.
As residents of Waterdeep, Varys and I, do we know anything about the skewered dragon or the area that it might be located in, or just
You know the dock ward. I don't know how much time do you think Malia would spend in the dock ward? Basically, it's home to sailors, lesser merchants, a lot of storerooms, storehouses. It's a very, imagine any fantasy dock area, and you're gonna kind of get the idea for what this place is. So how much time would Molly have spent there that she would know?
So she definitely would only know like the most famous places. I don't think she has spent a lot of time here. She tends
Sure.
to hang around more higher society.
Yeah. Yeah, so you probably wouldn't know a whole lot. You'd know that like there's like the Sailors Guild is down here and stuff like that. One of the larger one. Helm's Hall is kind of across from the dock ward, but you would have spent more time in the southern ward, which is a much classier part of the south of town, than the docks themselves. But I mean, you probably would have come down here, sometime in your past life for one job or another.
I think maybe Varys would know about it, being that he grew up on the streets there, but knowing that it's like a sailor's area and probably a little dangerous, he wouldn't want to go in there. It's like that's where you get your stuff stole. And
it's definitely the rough and tumble side of town. You kind of know that you need to be whereabouts you need to be for the Skewered Dragon. Snail Street's kind of like the main thoroughfare here that you need to go to, and you kind of know it's off Fillet Lane. And that's enough for you to get where you need to go.
If we don't know where exactly the skewered dragon is, Malia will very happily speak to a total stranger and be like, "Oh dear,
Sure.
nice dress. Oh, I love the color on you. By the way, where's the skewered dragon?"
If we get to that, we'll get to that. But I think as of right now, you guys are just kind of making your way south. It's easy enough to find the dock ward. You follow the smell of fish and the kind of the lesser area. As you approach the dock ward, you can tell it's generally unsafe. Tall, densely packed tenements leave most of the neighborhood in shadow at ground level. So even though it's an overcast day, the sun still shines through the densely packed clouds. But down here, it might as well be nighttime in some of these alleys. Most of the street lamps have their glass smashed, and the candles have been stolen out of them. The smells of the salt air and excrement linger as you pass rows of rundown buildings. As you make your way down Snail Street and you turn a corner, you find yourselves on a street that's been cordoned off by the city watch. It seems one of these alleys here has been blocked off. Lying on the cobblestones are half a dozen corpses. Seemingly the victims of some terrible skirmish, watch officers have disarmed and arrested 3 blood-drenched humans and are in the midst of questioning witnesses. One of the officers does see you, and she says, "Get on. Nothing to see here."
Yeah, Varys kind of turns his back when the officer approaches because he knows that people are still looking for him, and like, "Oh no, there's something else over here. Look at that."
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you hide behind someone who's taller than you or a passerby in a cart or something like that and kind of duck out of the way, make sure they don't see you. Yeah, perfectly easy to do. Yeah. So you see them questioning these people. Do you want to approach the guard at all or continue on your way?
Yes.
Yes. I got a yes.
A yes to a question with 2 answers.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to approach this female guard?
Yes. Malia strides up and she says, "Oh, what happened?"
She looks at you and says, "Just city watch business, nothing for you to worry your pretty little head about."
"Oh, are the people safe here? Or what is the reason behind this atrocity here? There are bodies in the street."
She looks at you and says, "Warring guilds always. The Zentirum and the Xanathar Guild," and she kind of like jerks a thumb over, "seem to have taken their fights to the streets rather than down in the sewers where they belong."
Oh, what are the city watch going to do about these sewer people fighting in our streets?
The sewer people. I love that. She looks at you and says, Well, we, as the City Watch, will do everything in our power to keep it in the sewers or down here in the dock ward where someone dressed like you shouldn't be.
What's a sewer?
Yeah, Mally, it's none of our concern, as Varys is still, like, trying to, like, look away so that the cops don't look directly at him or see his face. He's like, yeah, we should just keep going. They'll deal with it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, heavens. And Malia would like to kind of sneak a look at the people who are being arrested. And,
Yeah, so we get that little like camera refocus over the shoulder of the guardswoman here. And you see all three of these, they're all bloody, forced to kneel, and their hands tied behind their backs. They're all stripped of their weapons and things like that. But you see one look up, and you see like his head's shaved, and he stares you down with these like cold, dead eyes.
Can Cry kind of like Tweedledum like peek out the side of
Sure, yeah. So
shoulder? Just be like,
So we have this refocus, right? And then we see it turn back, and like we see Malia like considering them, and then we just see Cry just like whoop, just directly out from behind her. Absolutely.
like, oh wait, what are we looking at? So she also very curious, but just wants to see what she's looking at specifically.
Yeah, you see this bald-headed bandit covered in blood and kneeling down, like staring down Malia.
So, are the bodies and these restrained men and possibly women, are they wearing any distinctive clothes? Do they look different from one another?
Yeah, sure. Let me find my little handout that tells me the differences between these two guilds. Factions in Waterdeep. Look at that.
Sorry, Malia's really nosy.
Really nosy. I love it.
I love it.
Those are the
Varys is just
factions.
getting more and more agitated the longer we're hanging out around the
Yeah.
cops.
It doesn't really tell you what they look like. Okay, you do notice the bald-headed one is similarly tattooed to the bandit that was accosting Yagra Stonefist. Has these eyes tattooed on its head. Yeah. And that's kind of the what you can tell from here. Most of their clothes is like tattered or bloody in some way. It's hard to tell otherwise, but he's got very prominent eyeball tattoos. It's hard to skip that. They're all in like purple and yeah, all on his skull.
So, are all of the arrested people, they have this sort of tattoo?
You can see it on the bald-headed one. The other two, one is like has a dark mop of hair, and his eyes are downcast, and he seems to have not been shaved for a while. He's got some like gray in his beard there, and he's just kind of looking downwards and hasn't really made eye contact with anyone. And the third is a female. She seems to be arguing loudly with one of the guards, who then backhands her, and she collapses onto the ground. You don't notice currently if there are any other additional tattoos.
Good work. Thank you for your service.
And she kind of looks at you and says, right, move along then.
Very well. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Varys will just kind of
Flourish.
glance back at the guard and like thumbs up, good job, and just
Yeah, we kind of like, as you guys turn and walk away over Malia's shoulder, we kind of get this like lingering look from the guard there, and then you hear like a shout from behind. She turns around and goes on her business there. Yeah, okay. I think at this point, before we get deeper into the dockward here, we'll take our first break for this show. So we'll be back in about 3 to 5 minutes, guys. Thank you so much for being here for episode 1. Episode 1, it's so cool. We'll go to a quick break. We will be right back. Thank you so much. Yeah.